Oh, hey, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch and drink it if you got it. Ah, 20 people here so far. Good morning. We'll wait for some people to chime in here. I'll sip on my coffee a little bit. I am really hoping, I am really hoping that today the technical issues will have vanished. Will have vanished. I spent, I would say, most of yesterday redesigning the entire setup that I'm going to be using for these morning live streams. No more tablet, no more stylus pushing on the screen. I have got a full-fledged, believe it or not, portable studio set up out here with a big table, a very powerful notebook computer, wireless mic, great headphones, and a hardwired internet connection that doesn't require Wi-Fi. And I think that'll give me the best chance of having something that sounds good, looks good. I can't do anything about this. I mean, I'm stuck with that. So you're stuck with that, but let's hope let's hope that it works much better from here on out because I'd rather concentrate on talking about stuff and interacting with you than having to always worry about is the signal good? Is the upload speed good? No, no, no. So here I am. Been out here a while because this is the first time I'm using this setup and I'll settle down. But somebody who's already settled down, you know who, is Ellen, and bring Ellen in and say, hey, good morning, Ellen. I surprised her. She says she had to unmute her mic. Hi, Ellen.
Good morning.
Oh, there you are. Okay, good, good.
Good
So I
morning,
think
Mitch, and everyone in chat.
I
Happy
think
Monday.
thank you. I think that Ellen's audio is going to be fine too. Yesterday, all of the problems that I seem to be having with her audio were on my end because when I watched the replay, other than a few times, she sounded great. So we're going to hope that this morning things go well. Things go well,
Mhm.
and um, I will relegate Ellen to what I've affectionately called her God perch. There you go. All right.
Hey,
And
hi, everyone.
I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye on you, Ellen, to make sure that
Okay.
you're not frantically waving. Ellen is going to moderate the chat, and she definitely participates with everybody. You all know her, and I am so lucky to have her here with me in the morning. It's I can't even tell you how lucky. I can't put a value on the amount of luck that I feel.
Well, Mitch, I don't know. Be careful. I think I've probably ruined your chances of having an Element sponsorship.
Yeah, yeah, and well, that's a funny thing though. I'm the
You
only keto and carnivore YouTuber that's alive on the planet Earth that Element has never even sent me an email.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure after our discussion a couple coffee mornings ago, they're
Yes,
not going to
yes,
be
ma'am.
calling.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, we got
Anyway,
75 people, so we
that's
have
okay.
at least a quorum here, and let's start saying hi to people. Let's say hi. And the first one in the chat
Hi, everyone.
was Steve Rogers. And Steve says, good morning, everyone. And then right after him, of course, Ellen, who was here and is always here,
Yeah.
has said, good morning back. And then we have United Carnivore, Michael Seeley. How you doing, Mike from Tampa? Good to see you. And Ellen again. Wow, Ellen, you type a lot. And then Mike Seeley's father, the dynamic duo. They always follow one after the other. Hey, and have the same name. So good morning, Mike, here in Melbourne. Good to see you. And since I got both the Seeleys here, and I got them here early, we're only 4 days away from our meetup this Friday in Melbourne. I've been getting some RSVPs. And Michael, I need to talk to you today or tomorrow so we can kind of figure out a rough estimate of how many people. I also need to know if you've been in contact with the restaurant or you think it'd be better if I ran over there. And anyway, we'll talk about that. But 11:30 a.m. this Friday at the Estampa Gaucha Brazilian Steakhouse in the Melbourne Square Ball. Dr. Robert Kiltz is going to be there. Nelson Vasquez, Dr. Vasquez is going to be there. I'm going to be there. You can come anyway. And it looks like we're going to have 20, 30 people at least. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And then, for those of you who don't know this, after we're done eating and stuffing ourselves, after we say goodbye, after everything that happens, we are going, those of us who are brothers of the leaf, that means cigar smokers, we're going over to a local lounge, cigar lounge, and we are going to sit around for a few hours and just enjoy each other's company, smoke, puff on cigars, and talk about everything and anything that might come up. So, Bill Steely, how you doing? Good morning. He says 53 degrees in northwest Arkansas on the next one, but here he says, good morning from Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Good to see you, my friend. And Papa Carnivore's here. Peter, looking forward to meeting Peter next week, or excuse me, this week. Oh, wow, time flies. Don Shonger, how you doing? Good to see you. Trucking Carnivore. Yes, Trucking Carnivore. Good morning, everyone. And this is a new one. I don't remember seeing this. Gary Schmoltz, Schmoltze, Senior. Good morning from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Well, welcome. Welcome, Gary. Glad you found us. Good to see you. Good to see you. I think I'm going to have to lean in a little bit, but you won't see nearly as much of me doing this kind of thing this morning because I can read this much better. I do have my reading glasses here with me, and if things get tough, I'll put them on. William McCartney's here. Hi, William. Good morning. Good to see you. And Tom from Tampa, Viking 442. And Bill Steely reminds us that early voting starts today in Arkansas as well here in Florida. And I am going to vote today. I've gotten into the habit of always doing that. I'm not one of these people that say, well, I really haven't decided who I'm going to vote for yet, so I don't want to vote early because I may hear something that... No, nothing I hear would have the slightest possibility of changing my mind. So I go on the first day as just a kind of a ritual, and I'm going to go vote today. And the nice thing about that is most often you may be one of only less than a handful of people at the voting because they have 12 hours a day for like 20 something days or 12 days. We have 12 days of early voting, 12 hours a day. I don't expect any crowds. Boyd Lamb is here. Hey, Boyd, how you doing? Boyd says Kelsey was a little late this morning, but makes for a good dovetail right into Mitch in the morning with only 20 minutes in between. Wow. Oh, he was late this morning. Holy cow. Holy cow. Well, I hand it to him. 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning is, to me, Not the time I think that YouTube would suggest would be the best time to get a big audience, but that's not what he's going after. And he has a very, very, very loyal following of people that are always there and just never miss his live stream. And they're always in the chat. And he interacts with all of them. And I love the guy. Very positive. And I'm looking forward to seeing him again this Friday. Dixie is here. How you doing? Dixie Scott, good to see you. Popping in to say hi before heading out to work. Good to see you. Glad you made it. Sorry you have to work. But that also probably means you're not old like me, which is good. And Lori's Carnivore Story. Hiya, Lori. Lori's Carnivore Story. I don't know if I remember seeing you in here before. Maybe it rings a bell. Good morning, lovelies. Yes, okay. Was it you who used the word lovelies yesterday, or somebody from the United Kingdom? But at any rate, that's a very British term of endearment, and from southwestern Ontario. Yes, I do remember that from yesterday. I remember the southwestern Ontario part. And Lori, I'm watching from my new channel. My new handle is Carney Lori. Okay, there's a shameless plug for you, Lori. Carney Lori has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Check it out. We try to help out our friends here. Mark C is here, says GM, folks. I think that means good morning. Or he drives a Suburban, one or the other. Grandma Prepper, how you doing? It's great. It's always great to see the same people here. I love it when this, becomes a morning thing that we do. Great. And included is Ted and Cindy T. Good to see you. And Terry Wilson. Good morning, Terry. Guy from Delaware. Hola, he says. Good morning. Oh, Gary, not Guy. Yeah, let me try something else here. We're trying something new here this morning. Let's see if this doesn't keep me from bobbing forward. Give my eyes a chance to adjust to these. Yeah, that might work better. So Gary from Delaware, good to see you. And we have here Itasca Patriot. Well, good morning, Mitch. Good morning to you. Susan Roach, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Peter, Papa Carnivore, my remote critical engineer, has said, Mitch, the sound is near perfect today. What do you mean, Peter, near perfect? Why isn't it completely perfect? But near perfect is okay. I will accept that. Turamir, good morning. How you doing? Well, good afternoon to you. Good to see you. And Tom says, laptop with real CPU power. Boy, I got to tell you, this laptop is so incredibly powerful. It's what I use to do the editing on my 360-degree videos. It's more powerful than any computer I have. It's twice as powerful as the computer in my office. It has one of these high-end NVIDIA, I think it's a 4070 graphics cards, and it draws a humongous amount of power. It creates a tremendous amount of heat and doesn't last very long when you run it on batteries because it just uses so much power. But boy, is it great. And I even had to figure out a way to make sure I could plug it in out here so it wouldn't die right in the middle of a live stream. So the lengths that I don't go through in my quest for professional show business. Jen S., good morning to you. Good to see you. And Charger Mopar, Rick, good to see you. Coffee, no duck eggs and steak. That sounds great. That sounds great. How you doing up there, Ellen? You okay? Give me a thumbs up if everything is fine. Put some questions. Put some questions in the chat. Uh,
Yes.
I only lost about five subscribers overnight who
Oh,
were
that's not
watching.
bad.
No, they were watching the replays, and they probably got pissed off at me because I plugged my buy me a coffee thing, and
No, I
that's
you think so?
I think that's what they do. Yeah,
Really?
and
Huh.
I put up my banner that says buy me a coffee, and boy, yesterday people bought me some coffee, and I got to tell you how much I appreciate it, and I answered every one of those things for the people. I'm not plugging my Amazon stuff nearly as much. I don't want to be a shill for Amazon. I really don't. I started that just trying to make it convenient for those of you who have seen me using these gadgets. It turned out where I could make a little money, but at the price I have to pay in keeping up with they start putting quotas on you to get bonuses, and they
Oh,
have finally
Amazon?
raised my quota to the point where if I went on full time, okay, with a here's the best 10 deals at Amazon channel. I probably would never make that quota in a month's time unless I prostituted myself and became solely dedicated to selling Amazon shit. And that, between you and me, pissed me off. And I decided that's it. I am not going to be an Amazon salesman. I'm going to continue to let people know my links are there for the stuff that I use. But other than that, I'm not counting on Amazon for much of an income. So maybe this buy me a coffee thing just got a little more important to whether I make a living at this. And if anybody doesn't like me mentioning that and unsubscribes, good riddance to you. Don't come back, especially when you keep failing on your diet and your carnivore or keto diet and you can't figure out why. Don't come back looking to me for help if you can't let me self promote a little bit. At any rate, that God, I had to say that. And like I said, I thank you. If you buy me a coffee today, my phone will go ka-ching and I will get excited. If you don't, that's okay too. No obligation. And if you bought me a coffee yesterday, I certainly don't feel that you should be buying me a coffee every day. It can be a once in a while thing as long as we have some rotation in it. Where was I? Where was I? I was at Aussie Gal full. Oh, AU. Good to see you. Good evening, everyone from Australia. 10:30 p.m. Good evening. Good evening to you. Mama Bear is here. I said hi to Charger Robar. Did I get Susan Roach yet? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think so.
Tom Papa
Good morning,
Carnivore.
Susan Roach.
Terry Wilson got her. Eddie Edwards. Good morning. Having a decaf after lunch here in the UK. Yes, I'm having my hard stuff. I'm having my hard stuff here. Martha Sullivan. Martha Sullivan, good morning, said Blessed Rising. Yes, ma'am. Gary Williams. Hi, Gary. Fort Myers is in the house. Man, I hope you, Guten Morgen, I hope you survived that last little bout of hurricane surge. Peter says, Mitch, when will you send the name of the rest and the address of the restaurant? Oh, I'm gonna tomorrow night on my live stream. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to probably post a link to the restaurant. But you can find the address. It's very easy. The name of the restaurant. Just type Brazilian Steakhouse Melbourne in Google if you're confused, and you'll see Estampa Gaucha. There aren't a whole lot of Brazilian steakhouses in Melbourne, Florida, but it'll come up and just click on it, and you can get to their website and find out all about the restaurant. You can get driving directions, a map, and everything else. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. Thanks for asking. It's a good question. Good question. Mary Endersby, good morning, everyone, she says. Robin Downing is here. Hiya. Hiya, Robin. Good to see you. Phil, 85032. Good morning, Mitch. Ellen and all, 55 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow, that's something you don't see in Phoenix too often. It's 55 degrees. And we're almost coming down to where I think I've said hi to everybody that was in here early, and we'll start taking a quick look, scanning the rest of the chat. Booby Goats is here. How you doing? Good to see you. Yvonne C. is here. Meetitudes. Good morning, says hello, everyone. Remember, I haven't seen any yet, but if you have a question for me, I'll try my best to answer it. Put QQQ in it. Ellen's looking out for him, and I could imagine there haven't been many of them yet, so don't forget. It is Monday morning. We have 108 people. Not bad. We're not all sleepy. We have Mark's channel here. Another Ontario, Canada carnivore here. Welcome. Welcome, Mark. We have 2 or 3 or 4 other Marks, so that's not too confusing. And here we have Lex. Lex says, I don't understand why she is on with Mitch every day now. Okay, Lex, let me explain it to you. She's not on as a guest. She's more of a sidekick, but mostly she's on as a moderator, which is why we don't have that split screen other than when I introduce her. And I'm not spending the entire live stream interviewing her or talking to her and excluding all of you. She's here to help me as a moderator. It's what they call a moderator. A moderator, I can appoint moderators, and they have some certain powers. They can actually post links in the chat where normal chatters can't. They can hide or put a user in timeout if they're being rambunctious. But her main job is to sit up there, interact with you guys in the chat, and point out to me anything that she thinks would be interesting for me to talk about. And Ellen happens to be a very, very smart lady. And has it been a week yet or no? It was since Saturday was the first time you did this. So it's only been 3 days. This is the third time. It's been a great help to me.
It's only been a few days.
Yeah, and I like to come.
I don't know. There was a comment the other day about someone wanting you to put your monkey up. So
my monkey.
I didn't take it personally.
Okay, well,
that's okay.
I can't do.
I'll be up in my room.
Yeah, you be up on your perch. I can't put the monkey up unless I'm in my studio, because that's a trick that I can do with the software I run my inside normal live streams. But I think we're getting very, very sophisticated here, Ellen, outside here.
Yep.
Where I can. Again, I'm getting too far into this where I almost forgot that it is time to say, excuse me.
Yes.
Oh, man, how could I waited till 5 minutes before the show ended yesterday. How could I have forgotten that?
Good. I was going to say, we need to light up the star.
Yeah, so I will take a 10 or 15 second break here. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the music.
Enjoy them.
Okay. And let's see how I stop the music. There you go. That's another thing. I don't have a mixer out here either. But it's fun. It's fun. Believe it or not. there have been times when YouTube, and you know this if you followed me for any length of time, I've thought about quitting so many times it's absurd. There's so many things about it that aggravate me. So many things about it are not fun. But interacting with you guys may not be, or may not get you the most views on YouTube. These live streams certainly don't get anywhere near the view count, which is the only thing that's important to YouTube. YouTube doesn't give a crap about the content. All they care about is how many eyes they can get looking at their channel to see their ads. That's all they care about. Their entire business model is built, of course, like any business, about making money. And I don't begrudge them that. But most YouTubers have to learn how to adjust what they do around that model. And the view count is everything. It's everything. I don't find that to be fun. I'm not trying to build a YouTube empire. I'm not trying to have millions of subscribers. I'm trying to make a little money, not a lot, but enough, and have fun. Fulfilling at my age when I should be retired playing golf every day, I'm working and I'm going to have to work for the rest of my life. I've already resigned myself to that fact. So if I'm going to have to work until I'm 110 years old, I better find something I really enjoy. And the most enjoyable part of what I do on YouTube, believe it or not, are these morning live streams. I love them. I love them. So that's why I'm here. And most of the time, even if I've seen crap on TV beforehand that just bothers me, I will be in a great mood because you're all here with me. And Ellen, you looking at the chat to make sure? And again, once again, I left something up there while I lit my cigar. I have to try to learn to take a comment down off the screen before I go in a different direction.
Yeah, that's
Jesse
okay.
Farmer. Jesse Farmer says, "Hi, how you doing? Good to see you." You were going to answer my question that I asked you, I think.
I was going to say, do you want to look at a few questions?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to give me a second. I'm going to get to the beginning. Mitch,
I'll pump. Okay.
Gary from Delaware wants to know what kind of windows are surrounding your porch. Are they the PVC type?
I can tell you that without actually finding the question to put it up on the screen. This is a screened enclosure. These let me see if I can reach this one. These are vinyl windows. There are 4 of them and they slide like this. This is a hell of an angle. I'm going to break my arm. But they slide up like this. And they all slide up one on top of the other until they get all the way to the top, which turns it into just a completely screened porch. So if I shut all the vinyl windows, it becomes windproof and rainproof. And in bad weather, I can do it, or when it's cool outside or windy, I can close them all. And when I want to open it up and have a basically screen porch, I can run around, and there's a lot of them because it's a very big porch, and raise them all up high and basically open up just to the screen. Now they are very old, unfortunately. They were put in by God knows which owner of this house that I live in. I would imagine that this whole enclosure must be at least 15 or more years old, and most of the vinyl. And if you look behind me, if you look over the plant, you'll see that they look clear where you can see out of them. But the ones behind me almost look frosted. That's not how they started. But there were 2 different kinds of panels. One of them was darker, tinted like you tint a car windows. So it made the area where I'm sitting in right now less susceptible to the direct sunlight. Unfortunately, whatever material that they used as opposed to the ones that are still clear, the differences in that material caused it over the years to become pretty well translucent. You can't see through it. Now that doesn't bother me, but some of them are starting to get a little brittle. Just you know how plastic is in the sunlight, and this gets a lot of sun. Um, and I think that I don't know how much it's going to cost me, but I may have to find some screen company that can replace the vinyl in those panels. And when enough of them crack and I stop taping them up with duct tape, I'll do that. So Gary, that's the answer about that. Um, it's one of the things about this house when I bought it that was the most attractive to me as a cigar smoker. And you notice now with this camera, this new, I'm using one of my best cameras out here. That it doesn't change exposure when I turn my head and when the lighting changes. It should be much better, and the image should be great. I'm limited to seven. Oh, a ka-ching! Oh my God! All right, okay. Let's see.
Ching.
Let's see. Buy me a coffee. Captain America bought me 5 coffees. Thank you, Steve Rogers. Thank you so much, my friend, that I am so looking forward. I got your email. He is flying in for our meeting.
Wow.
Flying in.
Flying in.
I still don't remember where it is, Kansas or Idaho or somewhere in the middle there, but he's flying
Kansas, I believe.
And he's flying Kansas, I think, and he's flying in. He told me he's flying in Thursday night. So
Yes,
while I got you watching, Steve, like I said, I just had time this morning to just glance at your email. I didn't even get a chance to read the whole thing, but I will read it. I had asked you to send me your phone number. I think I maybe saw it in there. I'm going to text you my phone number later today. And if I can do anything to help shuttle you around when you get here, I don't know if you really feel the need to rent a car. I don't see the need to rent a car, but we can take you to the hotel, pick you up at the airport. We can pick you up there in the morning. We'll work something out. But the fact that you made that effort to get down here, and even though people don't understand, even though you're a retired Delta Airlines employee and you get to fly for free, it's the ultimate hassle. I don't care who you are to fly anywhere these days, let alone fly standby, which people who fly for free have to do. So,
Mitch, Papa says Stephen is from Missouri. So
Steve Rogers from Missouri, that doesn't sound familiar, but
yeah, I thought it was Kentucky too. Well, Steve, chime in.
No, not Kentucky. I thought he was from Kansas.
Where you are from? Me too.
Tell us, Steve. Tell us in the chat.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
But at any rate, thank you so much for the coffee. And his message was drink up, Mitch. Okay.
I will drink on that.
Thank you. We will do that. That's for sure. And
okay, Polish Mike.
Yes.
My Polish Mike would like to know what kind of selfie sticks and equipment you use when you're making your walking videos, because it looks like you're not holding anything. And I believe you have a video where you talk all about this.
I do, but you know, the problem is I have so many videos. I have 470 videos.
Quite a collection.
Not counting live streams. That's just the videos. God knows how many 100+ live, and doing one live stream every morning is going to bump that number up. But I made a video about how I make those videos. And I'm not plugging my Amazon crap here, but if you go to my website, oldguycarnivore.com, go to the Amazon link. The Amazon links to stuff I use page. There's a section, you see it on the menu, or you can just scroll down to it, where I actually show all the camera equipment, wireless microphones, and other things I use. And in there, you'll see a camera called an Insta360 X4. And there's also the selfie stick that I use with it, because that camera has the ability to actually stitch out the stick from the image. They call it an invisible selfie stick. And it's interesting that if the stick is casting a shadow and you see the shadow, you'll see it, but the actual stick will disappear. And because it's a 360 camera, you can, in editing, zoom in and out. And you can zoom so far out of the image that it looks like you're walking on a little, they call it a tiny earth, that you're walking around on a little ball. And it looks like that was taken from very far away. So by zooming out far enough and adjusting the angle, it actually looks like I have a drone following me, but it's just a matter of a 360-degree camera. And I use that same camera for most of my kitchen videos, which enables me to pan around in the shot without moving the camera, pan over to the stove to show you what's cooking, zoom in on the sizzling bacon, back out wide where you can see me walk into the refrigerator. And I can do all of that stuff without ever touching the camera. It's an extra step in editing. I've gotten fairly good at doing it quickly now. And it, I just feel that just seeing me sitting a talking head in all my videos is it has to get boring. Has to get boring. So when I do make a video, I try to bring out that inner cinematographer in myself and try to make it visually the best that I can without spending 3 days like some people do and 50 hours editing these videos, putting all the fancy effects and the flashing text and all that stuff in it.
Oh, yeah.
I stay away from that. I stay away from that. So I hope that answers your question.
Mhm.
What else you got for me,
We
Ellen?
got a super chat from Jeff Johnson.
Oh, how nice. That
Mhm.
I can find. Let me scroll down and find that. There it
Okay.
is. Jeff Johnson,
Thank
thank
you,
you
Jeff
so much.
Johnson. And
4.99. Always appreciated.
yes, and he does have a question not attached, but I'll just read
Oh,
that.
okay.
Hey, Mitch.
Did it come after? Great
It
job, Mitch. Scoots,
yeah,
love the channel.
came
Jeff,
separately.
how far down is it from that? I'm
Uh,
looking.
I don't know.
All right, read it.
It's the next question in my queue. Yeah,
Okay.
so, hey, Mitch, do you shop at Costco? Just joined. Just joined. Good to have you, Jeff. And looking to learn what deals on meat you might find.
Okay. Yes and no, Jeff. Anyway, thanks for the super chat. If I don't take that down, it'll probably sit there for hours.
Oh,
Not
that's
that
okay.
not that
That's
I'm
okay.
ashamed of it, but
That's right. He deserves the credit there.
yes, absolutely. And I currently am not a Costco member. I let my Costco membership expire in the spring of this year because I found that I have a Sam's Club. I've always had a Sam's Club membership, and I joined Costco for the purpose of being able to do what you're asking me. Tell you about the deals that are there. But I found that shopping for me, shopping at Costco, at the Costco we have here, is a chore. It's and I also found after I kept looking around, they have a much more well-equipped meat department than Sam's does. But I didn't find any bargains. They do not have the markdown meats. But the biggest difference for me is that they don't have the before hour shopping for their VIP or plus members. Nobody gets in before 10 o'clock. And the Costco in my area is right smack in one of the most affluent neighborhoods. And it's all rich retired people. The parking lot is full of Jaguars, Range Rovers. Uh, I mean, it's like a car show in the parking lot at Costco every morning. Who's got the biggest BMW? Who's got the nicest Escalade? I have a Telluride, which I'm proud of, but I'm almost ashamed to park it in that parking lot in Costco at 10 o'clock in the morning. These retired people that live in that neighborhood, and that neighborhood is growing like a weed, basically have nothing to do, it seems, at 10 o'clock in the morning, but every one of them, en masse, descend on the Costco and stand in line at 10 o'clock in the morning to get in. It is a mob scene at 10 o'clock in the morning in front of the Costco, compared to me showing up at Sam's Club at 8 a.m., saying hi to the same one or two people that I usually see there, going in to a completely empty store with the only activity is just people stocking things. I go right to the meat department where they have just finished putting out all the markdown meat that is within 3 days of its best used by date, and get 25% off on ribeyes and New York strips and chuck and some fish. They have the fish. A lot of times I'll find the Atlantic wild cod that I eat, or the wild caught sockeye salmon, and that saves me a lot of money, and I don't have to compete for it. And I get a 5% discount between the credit card discount, the credit card refund, and the Sam's Club points. I get 5%, and the best I can do at Costco, and I know this is nitpicking, is 4. But that would require, and that's 2 and 2, but that would require me to spend a bunch of extra money to upgrade my $60 Costco membership to like 100 something dollars. And all those reasons put together, and not even consciously, I just found myself going to Sam's Club. But here's the kicker: after all that, I get my glasses at Costco. My optometrist is at Costco, the girl that examines my eyes. Their optical department will beat Sam's Club in both quality and price by 50% most times. The quality of the glasses I get from them is, I think, for the money, is top notch. They accept my insurance, my Medicare Advantage plan, so I generally don't have to pay for it. I get an allowance from my insurance that will more than cover, uh, or almost covers, the cost of the eye exam and a brand new set of glasses. They give me like $250 a year, and I can almost do it for that. And I desperately, at this point, need to get back to Costco Optical, and my eyes have gotten better, and my glasses that I wear are just too strong now to read comfortably on a computer screen. It's crazy. It's crazy. Carnivore has done that to me. I know it sounds unbelievable, but it has. So there's your answer. I'm going to be going back to Costco, so stay tuned. I'm going to be looking for bargains and things that I like in their meat department. I will occasionally, from time to time, actually take my camera in there and hope I don't get chastised by them. They frown on people photographing stuff, although I don't know why, because it seems that that would only benefit them. But I think so many people that come in with cameras are their competition, just trying to record everything so they know what they got to beat. And in that respect, I can understand. I can understand that. I can't not show this. Terry Wilson says, "We love you, Mitch."
I was just going to point that one out to you, Mitch.
Thank you. That was right under Jeff's super chat there.
Yes, I have solved a mystery, Mitch.
Would you like to tell us about it?
Of course I would.
All right, there you are.
So Jeff Johnson is from Kansas City, Missouri. So that explains why we were confused.
Well, that's Jeff Johnson, but what about Steve Rogers?
Oh my gosh. Oh, here, I need some coffee. This is the problem.
Well, by all means, let's take a coffee break here.
Steve Rogers.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Steve Rogers. Sorry, Jeff. It was wrong person. You were the last person. That's what happens when I try to be organized. Okay. Yes, Steve Rogers.
That's great. So neither one of us is crazy or stupid.
Which explains why we were confused, right?
Yes, and neither one of us is crazy or stupid. We both heard right. I heard Kansas, you heard Missouri, and there you go.
Exactly. Okay.
Back to your perch.
We've cleared that up.
The power that I have with just a click of the mouse is incredible.
Oh, that's right.
I hope it doesn't go to my head. Well, maybe it does sometimes. Okay. So I had actually, believe it or not, I actually made a few notes today of some things that I might like to mention that I thought maybe people would find interesting, other than just interacting with the chat. And the first thing on my list was the meetup next Friday, this coming Friday, and I talked about that. And I don't remember, this one was on my list from a couple days ago, and I don't remember, Ellen, if I had mentioned this before. Did I talk about the Suitcase trial?
You brought it up, and well, funny you should say that because I may be a little bit embarrassed to say, but remember we were talking about, sometimes kind of needing some mindless entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, for my mindless entertainment, I watched a little bit of excerpts from the Suitcase trial. So, does everyone in chat know what we are talking about? I bet the Floridians do.
Yeah, let me summarize it. There's this woman.
So,
and when you look at her, and this is not meant to be racial in any way, but when you look at her, a middle-aged white woman, average looking, and then they show pictures of her boyfriend, who is obviously much younger. What was he, Hispanic looking, or
he's Hispanic, I assume, from his
Hispanic?
name.
Yeah.
Jorge Torres.
Looks like he could be her son, basically, if he had a Hispanic father. And that was her boyfriend. And they found themselves one night in a drunken stupor, is how they put it, in her place.
Yeah, it was.
Playing a game of hide and seek. And right away I say to myself, I don't like where this is going. I mean, think about this. You got a middle-aged woman, a young man. They're both drunk. He's her boyfriend, and they're playing. I said, this is definitely not the most sophisticated couple or educated couple. Brilliant. You're likely to run across. So they start playing hide and seek. The backstory, evidently, that she tells, or the defense tells, is that she was being abused. Okay. And while they're playing hide and seek, she somehow convinces this moron to climb into this big suitcase so she can zip him up in it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're playing hide and seek and you tell the other person to zip you up in the suitcase and then try to find you, I would think that'd be kind of a no-brainer. There's everything about everything on this story, everything about her defense defies credibility. And so he gets zipped up in the suitcase and evidently sits in the suitcase for a while. And it wasn't that big a suitcase. He must have been a pretty limber young guy. And then he starts, so the story goes, and again, we're only hearing the story. We don't know what happened. The story goes that he starts telling her, okay, I need to get out of the suitcase. And she won't let him out. Again, she's claiming self-defense in this thing.
Battered spouse or battered spouse syndrome. Yes, which is
he manages to wiggle the zipper a little bit and get one of his hands out. She then immediately starts, and she had an aluminum baseball bat in the house for some reason. She starts beating on his hand.
Yeah.
With the baseball bat, and keeps beating on the suitcase with the baseball bat. And I don't know how long she left him there, but evidently she left him there until he died in that suitcase. They arrested her for murder, and she's on trial. And the defense is stating that she was battered and it was self-defense. I don't think anybody's buying that. But that's not why I brought the story up in the first place. I brought the story up because one morning I'm watching the news and I see the headline come up that she actually motioned to the court. Her lawyers motioned to the court that they bring her candy and pastries and chips because she didn't have enough energy to participate or sit through the trial, and she needed this on, on a regular basis to keep her energy up, and the judge denied her motion. And I said to myself, if that was her diet and the boyfriend was eating nothing but chips and cookies and soda and stuff, that explains everything. They're both brain dead, and that's how that came out. So that's about the Great Suitcase trial. I don't find it, well, I do find it entertaining because it's just so outrageous. But
Yes.
what a tragedy that human beings have descended to the level of behavior that we see in the human race these days that's
Mhm.
increasing because, and I always tie it in to malnutrition and brains not working the way they're supposed to.
Absolutely.
Oh man. Oh man. I don't know if I have time. We have a little time here. I did get uh, a few. Where is it here? Hang on a second. Let me find it. I did get a few interesting comments, and I know people like to hear my comments. So you're
Oh,
looking for
good.
anything that needs my attention, correct?
No, well, let's see. There were a couple quick questions, quick
Okay,
ones.
let's get those. Let's
Uh,
get those first.
Neatitudes wanted to know, and if buying you a coffee or YouTube money, I assume maybe he means the super chats are
Yeah.
better.
Well, I get more of the coffee money.
Right.
I, I
We
get I
talked
get
about that
95 I
yesterday.
get 95% of that. They only keep 5% as an administration fee and cost of credit card discounts and everything else. So they're making a maybe a percent, but
Mhm.
they're making a percent on a huge amount of money when you consider everybody that uses their service, but they're not greedy. Google takes 30%. So it's a big difference. So
So,
if you give me a $5 super chat, I get $3 of it basically. If you or a little less than $3. If you give me a $5 coffee, I get $4.85 of it, something like, yeah, or $4.75. So yes,
well, there you
that's
go.
better.
That goes.
Also, buy me a coffee settles up once a week with me,
Oh, okay.
and Google settles up once a
Mm.
month behind. So
Okay.
when somebody gives me a super chat, I can have to wait maybe up to 60 days before I actually
Oh, okay.
get my
Okay.
70% of it. Not
So,
that I don't, not that I mind that. It doesn't matter to me because I'm getting paid for the ones that happened a couple months ago, so it doesn't matter. It,
yeah.
it, it becomes somewhat steady, but that's an answer to that question.
Okay. Phil
I
would
will
like to
say
know what kind.
one more thing. Let me finish one more
Oh,
thing.
I'm sorry.
However, if you're generous like that and you want to help support what I do, whatever is most convenient for you, whatever you have the least hassle and doesn't put you through the most number of steps, that's what you should do. That's more important that you not inconvenience yourself too much. And getting the first time you do these, if you and you don't have a thing set up with YouTube, they run you through the gamut of how you going to pay for this, all that other stuff. Same thing with buy me a coffee. If any of these seem too cumbersome, use the other one. The difference in and how I get what I get is the least important thing. Okay, Ellen, didn't mean to interrupt
Okay.
you.
No, no, no. Phil would like to know what kind of editing software you use. I don't know if you want to get into this today. We only have 5 minutes left, or if you want
That's
to.
a pretty quick
Oh,
question. I
good.
can do that.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of computer work, website editing, graphics work. Uh, I have Adobe Creative Cloud, and it's expensive. It costs $60 a month. When I tell people help support the channel, when a lot of that money that supports this channel goes towards what it costs for me to actually do this stuff. Um, $60 a month. I get Photoshop. I get Premiere Pro. I get the Adobe Acrobat editor. I get Audacity to do audio stuff, and I get some Dreamweaver because I do some coding, computer coding. So for me, it's And I'm not happy with Adobe, and most people in the community aren't happy with Adobe, and it's very expensive stuff. But that's what I use because it's professional. It's what so many movie studios use. There's almost no limits to what you can do with it. But that's what I use to do the 3D, the 360-degree stuff, like when I walk and when I'm in the kitchen. That's Insta360 has their own software that you get for free when you buy any of their cameras. You can get the software. They just ask you for the serial number of what you bought to prove that you bought it, and that's called Insta360 Studio. Now, when I edit a 360 thing, I have to take what comes out of that 360-degree studio and then go into Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro video editing software, and then use Premiere Pro on it to cut it up, make some additional changes, because the Insta360 Studio doesn't let me, at least I haven't figured out how to do it yet, cut out sections of it. You have to pretty much edit the whole video and then use a different video editor. So I hope that answers your question. Um, Anything else, Ellen? Ellen has, oh, there you are. You're leaning over. I didn't see you. Your hair, when you turn sideways, blended in with the bush behind you on my tiny little picture of what I see, what I see of you.
I was typing on my keyboard. No, I think we are caught up with the questions now.
Okay,
Unless
then I
there's
will.
late.
And if we run over 5 minutes, that's fine. I'm
Oh, that's right.
basically
We're not on
in
a
no hurry.
yeah.
We're not on a time clock. I just don't want to get in the habit because
Yeah,
these things can become 2 hours very easily. Very
yeah.
easily.
They could become all morning.
Sharon Rose, now I'm down at the bottom of the chat now. This one came in at 9:26, so this is one of the
Yeah.
newest ones. Says I
Oh,
finally got on a
hi,
live
Sharon.
chat. I may be late, but at least I'm here. Sharon, we are so happy to see you. In fact, I may go an extra couple minutes just because you're here and made
Good idea, Sharon. Thanks for coming, and we're going to keep going just for you.
And who is this? This is CJ Brackney. Great info. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A lot of these people that come in later in the chat, I didn't get a chance to say hi to.
Mm-hmm.
So let me, while I'm here, I've got Phil. I think I said hi to Phil earlier.
You did. Mm-hmm. Bye, Tom. Have a great day, Tom. Tom is leaving us.
And Callie came in a few minutes ago. Said good morning. How you doing?
Okay.
And Peter liked my story about the suitcase murders.
I'm creating monsters now. People are getting into this. People are getting into the suitcase trial.
I'm telling you, it's become a national obsession.
It is.
The suitcase trial.
Again,
because of the absurdity of it.
And it is tragic. I mean, underneath, we're kind of joking a little bit, but right, it's so bizarre. And like you said, it just points out, yes.
Oh, here, I didn't know this. She was 47, he was 42. Wow, I was 42. So mistaken about that.
Now he's probably one of the few people who did not have an obesity problem, and he would. Well, they were chronic alcoholics, and
oh, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I know. So no, I'm not dumb, but and who knows what else? But he weighed 102 pounds.
Holy cow! No wonder he could fit in the suitcase.
Right, he was 5'2", but for a man, even at 5'2",
I would
2 is really low. So
I would suspect that he was a drug addict.
Yes. So right, there were issues, and they had a history of very dysfunctional relationship. The police being called, both of them being accused of abusing the other one, and it was
well, he looked much younger in that picture than I would say 42. I thought he looked like he was probably in his late 20s, but I knew she was in her late 40s, or you could tell by looking at her. But I'm surprised to hear that, and I absolutely Oh, here's the question that we both missed.
Oh,
Question: are free-range eggs
I'm
worth the
sorry.
extra money? Um, you know what's an interesting thing, William? When you when you look at the market at the marketing terms they use on products, all natural, pasture raised, free range, cage free. If you go to some of the USDA websites, I have not done this myself, but you can Google it because I've watched more than one YouTube video, which what led me through that. I didn't think I needed to do it myself because I had no reason to not believe. You find out that there are, and organic is the one word organic is probably the most abused term. When you learn exactly what criteria is necessary for them to use that word legally without the government saying you can't call this product this, that, or the other thing. Cage free means that the chickens need to be free to roam around in the hen house. They're not forced to stay in a cage all day. It doesn't mean they're eating anything other than the vegetarian chicken feed, but they're free to roam around. Does that make for a healthier, better chicken to lay a better egg? Maybe, you know, not kept in jail all day. And I don't see any reason why you would want to confine chickens in small cages anyway. Let them roam wherever they want. These chicken coops are the size of a Costco store. Who cares where the chickens roam around in there? So that's cage free. Pasture raised means they have access to the outdoors. And it doesn't mean that they do all of their eating in the outdoors. It means that at one end of this Costco sized chicken coop factory, they may have the equivalent of a cat door that swings two ways. And outside of this cat door, they may have maybe a 30 or 40 foot by 30 or 4 foot fenced in area that has grass or plants or some wild shit growing in it. And they can legally say that every chicken in that factory has access to a pasture. They don't say that without a taxi service, none of them would ever find it. And even if they did find it, very few of them probably go out there. But they can use the term pasture raised. So it becomes a matter of being a little cynical about some of those terms. And the most cynical term that I see on eggs is where they put vegetarian fed and they brag about it. That's the last thing I want in my chicken. I don't want a vegetarian fed chicken. I want a chicken that's out there and on the pasture eating grubs and worms. Chickens are birds. Birds are primarily carnivores. They will be healthier eating protein, not sugar. Uh, but we are so brainwashed. We are so brainwashed in our society that unless they put vegetarian fed and even further amplify that by saying absolutely no animal products in the feed, most people won't buy it because at the hint of the fact that that chicken who laid that egg might be eating an animal product, they fall back into the propaganda that they've heard about how bad that is for you. So we are so misinformed. We force companies to use marketing terms that we know are detrimental, the few of us know, in order so they can sell their products to the masses. So when I see vegetarian fed on there, I say, well, hopefully this chicken got out and had a chance to eat a worm now and then. So that's the answer to that question. And it is getting late, Ellen. So I'm going to say goodbye to you. Let me bring you in here for a minute. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you and everybody. Thanks for keeping an eye on the chat. Give you a few minutes. Who is this? Florida, Florida. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. At least under that name. Yes, I want my chickens eating bugs. Yes, we do. We do. We want them out in the pasture eating what they know they should be eating, not what some company decides is best so that they can market the eggs. Unmute your mic.
I said Florida, Florida. Yes. Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
at least not under that handle. Well, good to see you all.
Yes.
And at the end of the chat, we have Ted and Cindy still here. Um, Dixie Scott's still here. Florida, Florida, Sal. Oh, Ellen. He says, Ellen is so pretty.
Well, oh, that's so kind. Thank you. Well, that wrench gets me a lot of flattery.
Yeah, it does. It does. Oh, okay.
Thank you, everyone in chat, for being here. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Why I'm happy it's Monday?
Why?
Because it's the start of a whole week of Coffee with Mitch.
Okay, and again, you're not obligated to be here every day, and neither am I, but I'm going to give it a shot. And if you can't or don't or need a day off, nobody will ever hold it against you, Ellen. So you just let me know.
I don't know. They might be happy about it.
No, there's no way. No way. No way. So
bring
anyway,
them
I'm going to say goodbye to you. Yeah. I'm going to say goodbye to you and then get a little exit music and say goodbye to everybody else. So I will see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ellen, take care. And that leaves just me. And we'll get a little exit music going here. Yes, sir. Not too loud. Do I have any coffee left? No. No, it's all gone. And I think I'm looking forward to watching this replay. And hopefully I don't find anything wrong with this setup. I think this works great. I think I've just have to go the extra mile and not use a tablet, try to take shortcuts like that. I don't think they're ever going to work the way I want them to. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. I really appreciate that. I'm going to take one last second while you're saying goodbye to each other in the chat, relight my cigar. And the weather forecast this morning said that here in Florida, it was going to be cloudy. It's gorgeous where I am. The sun is shining. It's just beautiful. I see people are saying goodbye and dropping out, so let me get out of here too. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for being here. Always appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, my friends, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.